is the Riot Podcast. If I were to say we had one thing that was the big one,
that stood out.
It's probably the LNYX interview.
You think so?
Sure.
I think so too.
But
followed by movie talk.
We do talk about President Trump's supposed favorite movies and your favorites. So that's a thing. We also talk SpiderMan because there's just drama. So much drama.
More drama than even earlier this week.
Yeah. Harley Davidson. What does Nikki have in common with Avengers Endgame?
You'll find out. I had to find out, too.
She did. And let's see. Anything else? Some stuff going on with Android. The Popeye sandwich, just a little bit more. Deep Mind. Commissioning weird art. So
hopefully you enjoy the podcast. For LNYX, I will remind you, it was great to catch up with them. We play their music on RadioU. So I'm sorry you can't hear the music on our podcast. But if you want to check out more with the interview and more with the band, may we suggest riot.radiou.com. The link to watch the interviews there. And then while you're at our website, click around. You can watch music videos. You can listen to RadioU. So if you're just normal Riot podcast listener, you can kind of get that next level of us with the music too.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the podcast
and have a
great weekend.
Yay, because it's the weekend. Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I feel like Nikki and I are really slacking.
Slacking in what area?
Because Nikki and I are the ones that are always out there shooting video of us eating. We're always out there eating. So there is this craze that has swept the nation and, quite frankly, just the radio industry. Every person I know in radio, I have seen video of them eating something in the last 24 hours.
And we're not on that one?
No.
That's because when it's so popular like that, we don't do it.
And what do you think it is?
It's the Popeyes.
Stupid Popeyes sandwich.
Popeyes sandwich.
And you can tell him I said it's stupid.
It's the
you can tell Popeye himself.
It's Popeyes chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, and a Wendy's chicken sandwich.
And I'm serious. Like, everybody I know in radio, and I don't know, like, a ton, but I know a few.
I think because it's the Chick-fil-A factor, because everybody in radio knows Chick-fil-A. Yeah, they know, like, all the Chick-fil-A owners.
Whoa.
So I think that's probably why it's sweeping our industry a little bit more.
Man, it's ridiculous.
It's like, what's going on?
What are you guys doing?
But we can still do it if you want to. I just feel like
I feel like we're bandwagoning now.
By the time it would be so late, we need to find something else to do.
You're right. Like these Korean Kit Kats that we're going to do on Monday.
We're going to do that anyways. Thank you, Jenny, for sending us the box of treats from South Korea.
I just feel like we should have. Like 2 days ago, we should have been on that.
No,
and
like last
beaten
week.
Everybody on the punt. You think it was last week?
Last week we should have, before the news came out about the sandwich.
Okay, I was going to say, because like it didn't really get to me until Tuesday.
But no, I think it was popular over the weekend.
Man, what?
So we should have, but we missed out. And, we can't let that stop us. We have to just keep going.
Okay.
So
right.
I don't know if anybody else wants to text stuff. What's the next thing?
Does anybody? No, they're okay. We're doing it wrong again. We're supposed to be telling them what the next thing is. They're not supposed to be telling us.
You're right. I still don't mind getting in some ideas. It helps.
Yeah, it's no. I like it. It's participatory. I want everybody in on this.
That's
but I'm just telling you that I feel like we missed this one. And I give us a pass. It's fine, whatever. But we should have been eating chicken this week.
Well, yeah, we were anyways, but we should have made it like work oriented.
I don't know if I've had chicken this week. Well,
yeah, you have. You must have.
Oh, wait. We went to Panda Express. Did you go?
Yes, I did go yesterday. I was right there next to you.
Oh, it was yesterday. You were there.
I was right there.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty focused on the chicken.
Yeah, you were too occupied with it.
Yeah. So, all right. I guess we're sorry. Okay. We missed it. We're sorry. We're sorry.
We're not sorry. We didn't want to do it.
Because it's stupid.
That's how you need to phrase
Who cares about it?
If we're going to be the leaders in this food fight stuff, okay?
Yeah, we let the plebes have a couple. It's fine.
We just don't want to be a part of this one.
Yeah.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported RadioU.
Nikki, did you hear about Google?
Google? What about?
Did you hear about Google Android?
Oh, I did. Actually, when I saw it, I thought of you.
I just thought about, there's only, in the war of phones, which in a lot of ways
is over.
It's kind of over. But there was one thing that Android always had. They always had it. It was the one thing they had on Apple. You know, Apple was like, man, the iPhone's got a better camera. It's got a better this. It's a better that. And the tech has pretty much evened out. But there was still one edge
that I was always jealous about
had over Apple and Nikki. And that was every time they would push out a new version of Android, they would name it after a dessert.
Something sort of candy or dessert oriented. I was fascinated that the company would do that. And I was also fascinated by the statues that they would have at Google headquarters. You know, the big ones out front. So you could actually see what is the dessert chosen.
Mm-hmm. And they just announced... Not anymore.
Well, they had 10 good years, right? 10 good years of fun, and now someone had to pull the plug.
So they have Android 10. That's it.
Just 10.
So, you know, there was Android
10
9.
macaroons.
I think Android 9 was Oreo, I think.
Yeah, I think they said that.
Because I got my phone just got Android 9 like a month. It was while I was on vacation.
Your phone just got Android Oreo?
Yeah.
See how great it is when they put
wonderful.
A dessert name?
So now they're just like, you know, the dessert names are too confusing for people. They can't remember what dessert is.
We can't handle that.
So Android 10 will just be Android 10.
So let's see. Some of the versions included cupcake, donut, eclair, froyo, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, nougat, Oreo, and pie.
Peter said Android 9 was pie.
Yeah, pie.
So in fairness,
How about Oreo pie? If you got it at the same time.
Sounds delicious. I wasn't keeping track of what the names were. I was more tracking numbers these days anyway, but so that's
Sorry,
it.
guys.
Android Q. A lot of people I love this article. Quiche, quinoa, quesadilla, 10.
Are they going to go like healthier alternatives?
No, not anymore. It's just 10.
Do they still use the little guy, the little green guy?
Like no, that's their
They still use that logo guy?
Yeah. I don't see him very often. He only pops up when you're getting a real update.
He's losing weight.
Is he?
That's it. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, I was like, oh.
They're trying to slim him down. And so that's why we can't have desserts as like an everyday food. It has to be a special occasion.
The only thing I'm thinking is Android. You guys should have gone with Android X.
Oh, for 10? You can't do that.
Why?
Well, because of the iPhone X, the 10.
No, that's why you do it.
That's why they...
That's why you do it.
All right. Well, I guess that would have worked.
And you come out and you're like, it's not Android X. It's not. It's not. It's not Android X.
They would say, no, it's not 10. It is X. They would say X for them.
Stop saying 10.
Because ours is 10. They would do the opposite.
It's X. Say X because it's extreme, guys.
So sorry, Android users. No more for your Google Treats names. So Pi was the last name, and now Android for the next update will be just 10.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Because they literally pretty much basically came out and said we can't handle anything else.
It's all we can do.
We can only just have it called what it is. We can't have a cute name attached to it.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So I have broken with tradition, and I went ahead and got my hands on Avengers Endgame yesterday.
In the 4K model?
Mm-hmm, I did. And so, I mean, you know, it was $5 cheaper than day one, but...
You saved a little bit of money, and you want to watch it now. That's fine.
I really do. I actually was talking to some friends. I'm like, Saturday, let's just hang out, watch Avengers. And, you know, I feel like there was just this feeling of like, yeah, okay. And it was the kind of okay where people are actually going to do it versus the like, dude, I'll be there. And then they never show up.
Never show up.
It was just the right level of enthusiasm, just middling enough for Avengers Endgame for us to watch it this weekend.
So I'm looking at the link. You got it from Amazon?
I did. I want you to look really closely at it's the poster that you saw in theaters.
Yeah.
It's what's on the cover of the Blu-ray. I want you to look at it really closely.
Well, it says 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital code. Okay. It's the Cinematic Universe edition.
Uh-huh. Does it remind you of anything?
Of that?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be the best one.
You don't see it.
I don't see it.
But it's right there.
Okay, what is
it? It's right there. Just look. I want you stop looking at the details. Just step back and look at the big picture.
The big picture?
The big picture. What do you see when you look at it?
I see a lion in the background. No, it's Thanos.
Okay. It's your hair.
It's my hair? Oh, it is! Oh, it was meant to be. It's my galaxy hair.
Nikki's hair has been colored the colors.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. I pulled it.
I would have never gotten that. I'm like, am I supposed to be looking for some more in the background?
I pulled the box out of the box, and I looked at it. I was like, Nikki's hair.
That's me.
That all the colors
purple,
of your hair,
teal, and some bluish, all in my hair right now, which is why I look like the Avengers Endgame poster.
Yeah, and that's how I knew it was meant to be. You're supposed to come over tomorrow.
I'm supposed to watch it.
And watch Avengers Endgame.
Well, that or if tonight I'm like washing it all out of my hair. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't come over anymore. I don't have galaxy hair anymore.
I can't be associated with that filth.
Well, maybe that's why, especially guys have seemed to like the hair. So could be it.
It's subtle. Some of you aren't getting it.
They don't understand why.
But your excitement about Nikki's hair is absolutely wrapped up in the Avengers Endgame poster.
When I look at it, I'm like, oh, that is a great color, scheme there together.
Mm-hmm. Because it's yours.
It's my hair. Very
it's
good.
Your hair.
Never thought you were going to say that at all. You're like, oh, just keep looking at the poster.
It's there. See, I told you, look big picture, see it all together. But yeah, it's your hair.
Okay. Well, enjoy. I thought you were going to tell me that you went to all this effort to buy the 4K and it's not even going to be here for tomorw.
No.
I was afraid that's what you're going to say.
It came last night and I opened it and I was like, oh, Nikki's head is in this box.
What's in the box?
What is in the box?
It's my hair.
It's just the colors of her hair, but still. It's meant to be, Nikki.
Next time when I am done with the purple and tealish blue hair, let me know what the next Marvel Cinematic Universe movie would be that I need to match my hair color to.
Well, SpiderMan came out, so maybe it should be red.
Yeah, I've never done red before like that.
Well, you know what? There's always time. I mean,
but I thought they were breaking up, and that really wouldn't be good.
No, you do that in honor of the breakup.
Okay, in memorial?
You're just like, Sony, no! Look at my hair!
You can't break up now.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
It's time for us to finally get those pedal-assisted bikes that we've always been talking about.
I would totally want one. I like to ride my bike, but I don't like to pedal. So I would like a battery-powered...
Liking to ride your bike and not liking to pedal means you don't like to ride your bike.
No, that's the negative part of it. It is annoying. I live in an area where there's maybe a few hills, so I don't want to have to bike around. But having a little assist with it would be nice. So it's a battery-powered electric bicycle that has the pedal assist with it.
I've seen these.
Yeah, they're everywhere now.
I saw some guys out the other day with them. So with pedal assist, does that mean that basically the motor moves the pedals and so it looks like you're pedaling? Like your legs are still moving with it, but not really?
You're still pedaling, but it just moves you along.
It just makes it a little easier on you? Okay. So now when
Jared
you're
was like, so you like motorcycles? Well, not quite. Jared, if you listen to the show long enough, we've had problems with motorcycles before, so we can't go back to that.
Nikki doesn't like the devil's bicycle.
It's cost us a lot. We can't have a motorcycle again.
Eric got a motorcycle and as a bonus, reconstructive surgery.
So that's a no. We don't have the motorcycle anymore, but I wouldn't mind an electric bike.
Isn't that wonderful? Would you really get one?
I would love one. Absolutely. Okay. I see them at Costco a few times, and they've been on sale on Amazon.
So what did Costco want for one? I have no idea what you pay for this.
I think it's like $800, $900,
$100?
$1K, $1,000, $1,300.
I see you that number keeps increasing.
Well, it depends on the type that you want to get.
I'll just tell you that the difference between $800 and $1,300 is significant.
It's called a window. That's a window.
Okay. Where you can slide in.
Yeah.
All right.
Depends on what style you want and if it's on sale.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I will say
they are expensive, but some bikes cost that anyways.
Man, don't even get started on like athletic bikes. Man, you start talking to people that are triathletes or whatever.
Ooh.
It's
a lot of
insane.
money.
It is insane what those bikes cost. I looked at doing a triathlon one time, and it was the price of the bike that kept me from doing it.
You're like, can I just ride my bike from like when I was a kid? I still have it somewhere. My mom still has it hanging up at the garage.
I had a friend that said they use kind of a clunky like mountain bike or something, and he said the other participants made fun of him.
Really?
For his bike.
Come on. We all don't want to spend $1 billion on that. But these look cool. Harley Davidson has actually unveiled their line of electric bicycles.
Wow.
They started teasing them about a year ago.
Get yourself a Harley.
They look good. So there'll be 2 that require riders to step over a centerpiece and 1 that has a middle piece that is easier to get on. So there'll be a few versions of them, and they'll be light, fast, and easy for anyone to ride is what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Wonderful.
I don't see any pricing yet, but I'm sure it'll be expensive.
Finally, a Harley that I can afford.
Finally,
Just
one
kidding.
that you can get
I can't afford this.
Well, it'd be nice. You could get the Harley electric bike, and then I'm sure you'll get a sticker, and then you could put it on your
laptop.
And people are like, oh, do you ride Harley? And you're like, yes, I do.
Yeah, because most of the guys that own Harleys that I know put the sticker on their laptop. It's a big part of Harley Davidson culture.
It is. Well, I think the culture needs more people, which is why they're branching out.
Like, oh, I saw your Harley sticker on your lap. It's perfect.
And then you have an instant connection with that person because you're both Harley guys.
Absolutely.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, did you see what Chad just texted us?
What did Chad text us?
We were just talking about...
Chad is in Pennsylvania?
The electric bikes that Harley Davidson is going to be making. Chad says, I actually had work at the Harley plant in York, Pennsylvania, and listen on the way in. It is its own eclectic culture, and they're trying to branch out to more people.
Yeah.
So you're right.
So Harley, normally motorcycles, they're branching into electric bikes.
Yeah. So I know.
Which is more our style right now.
Why don't you go ahead and put on your khaki shorts and your rimmed glasses, and you can ride your electric bike over to the Harley meetup.
Actually, I bet what they try to do is get
sorry, they're white shorts, but whatever.
I bet you what they're trying to do is get you so comfortable with electric bikes and in the Harley culture. So then as you grow up and you get older, you might want a motorcycle later, and then you would stick with the brand and you'd feel, like I said, more comfortable.
Little brand loyalty.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're doing.
So they make you some kind of a canvas jacket that starts you on your way to a leather jacket.
To a leather jacket. Well, I think for motorcycles, it is its own culture.
It is.
But Harley has had some really cool designs, but if you look, it's mostly older people that ride Harleys.
Hey, man. Like my
dad. So they
want
to go younger.
My dad's like, I am, what's the word I want? The modern man. And by modern man, I mean not really a man. Like my dad, a Marine, rides a Harley. Like all that stuff.
You go tell him, you're like, guess what? I'm getting
I ride a Harley too,
I'm getting
Dad.
a Harley.
He has to act proud of me. Then he goes to his friends like, man, that kid.
Every time.
I'm telling you what. I just don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, but I actually think an electric bike sounds really fun. So it won't stop me.
Well, hey, you remember I was telling you people made fun of my friend for his triathlon bike?
Yeah.
Dave in Springfield says, I signed up for my first sprint triathlon, riding my $100 touring bike that I got from Meyer. My friends have already made fun of me.
Oh, don't even listen to them. Man, that's amazing you're doing a triathlon.
Just keep it up. Yeah. Mike says that he thinks, now I don't know if this is true, but he texted in that Harley has an electric motorcycle in the works. Bro, you are not going to sell a Harley electric motorcycle.
I'm sure they're going to get people to grow into that for them.
People buy a Harley because they want it to be like, bum, 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 bum.
I'm sorry, someone's bike in the parking lot?
They want it to be so loud that you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, but that's the old school style. Now it's electric.
I bought myself an electric Harley.
It's the new Harley.
Shut up. You did not just.
Come on, it's the new company.
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Oh my gosh, what if the commercials? And actually, that'd ruin the brand.
And it's a Harley.
That would totally ruin the brand.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if anybody gets in the future a Harley electric bike, let us know.
Well, Manny just texted us a photo of Harley's electric bike. So there it is.
Looks good.
You know what? Good for them. But I'll tell you, my dad is like an old school Harley guy. What is it? The Harley Sportster or whatever. He and his Harley guys are always just like,
oh, it's not good enough.
No. Aww. And that's still a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like when you show up with that electric bike, they're probably going to beat you up. Okay? That's it. Like,
they'll still appreciate you, but they are going to hurt you.
They're going to appreciate the distraction you've given them as they.
Yes, I mean, they're glad you're doing something, but they're not going to be the nicest.
They might not hurt you, but are you familiar with the term wedgie?
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So talk to me about your favorite movie. Let's say you had to pick your favorite movie that was like, it's the best, but then there's also your go-to movie.
My go-to movie?
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz and Pride and Prejudice.
So Hot Fuzz is your go-to?
Both of them are kind of a go-to.
Okay.
They're both different styles, and I have different feelings going into them.
Yeah.
The one that I can literally watch the most is Hot Fuzz.
Okay, really? That surprises me that you like it that much.
It's just something I connected with, and I don't know why. I just love the movie.
Okay, well, my favorite...
And Shaun of the Dead.
Like, my absolute favorite is probably Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which is... I don't want to hear about it. It just is what it is.
Used to like it with your dad? I mean, you have memories?
It just is what it is.
It's a movie?
Yeah. And then if it was my go-to, like, what is the movie that I just go and watch?
Yeah.
Just randomly all the time?
Isn't that still Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan?
It's Big Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen that.
I'll just tell you right now. Like, anytime. Like, if I'm... I'll just sit down and watch it.
Is it a very old movie? Or?
Oh, yeah. It's way old. But it was something that... I don't know. Like, I saw it when I was a kid. It was on I don't know. Like, I just watched it. And so, not only do I have it on Blu-ray, but I did, like, what is it? Vudu has this thing where if you own a Blu-ray, I think for like $2, you can get a digital copy. Mm-hmm. So, I got a digital copy of it so that way I can, wherever I'm at, if I just need to see a little bit of it.
You can always just pull it right up.
I can just pull it up.
If we're going to start naming movies, I think we also have to agree that there's no like judging. There's no questions. It's just... If you enjoy the movie and that's your thing, that's the one you go to, then that's great.
Well, have you heard what our president's go-to movie is?
Afraid to ask. What is it?
I've seen over the last few days, I keep seeing this pop up, and I finally found out where it's from.
Is this actually new? Like, is this verified?
It's not new, but it is true. And that is his go-to is Bloodsport.
Which one's Bloodsport?
Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's one of his first movies. So this all comes from an interview from the New Yorker in 1997. Mm-hmm. Somebody wrote a profile on Donald Trump, and they sat down and watched Bloodsport together. And he
Well, I guess it's not fair to ask, because if that was so from like 97.
It was 22 years ago.
I mean, was that a newer movie then, or at least new-ish?
I don't know. So
I would want to find out now, like a current one.
Well, he says his all-time favorite movie is Citizen Kane. Mm. I mean, that's a good choice.
Is that the Rosebud one?
Rosebud.
Yes, all right.
Rosebud. Mm-hmm. It's not the same as Red Rum. That's a different one.
That's different. Also, some old classic movie.
That's a different one. So there you go.
You go into like, the Riot told me to watch it.
Nope.
No, we did not.
Nobody said nothing.
That one's a bit intense.
Nobody said nothing.
Well, I guess text, guys, if you want to let us know what's your...
I like the idea of finding out a favorite and your go-to, because they're not necessarily the same thing.
Pretty close, though.
Do you?
I think it's pretty close. I would take just the one. Like, what's your go-to all-time movie that you would have, no matter what's going on, you don't mind just putting on?
Just throw it on.
Throw it on. And for me, I can throw it on at any point. Like, I just like to watch a certain section of it. Yeah. I'm not actually usually sitting down watching the whole movie. There's just parts of it that...
watch parts.
Yeah, that I really like to watch.
So, Hot Fuzz, favorite part?
Well, that's all of it.
Okay.
Definitely the end scenes where, they come in to take them all out.
That's fair.
So text if you've got one, 877-2-RADIO-U. And we promise, no matter what movie you tell us, we'll just happily accept it.
I mean, President Trump likes Bloodsport, so we can...
Anything's good.
Anything's fair game.
You like Big Trouble in Little China.
I do. I'm totally guilty of it.
No problem.
It's fine.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
Our question was favorite movie and go-to movie. And I say they're not necessarily the same thing.
I think they're pretty close, though, to where if you just want to tell us one, I think it's fine. But, like, let's say it's tomorrow. You're finally free from the week, and you're like, I have 50 minutes. What can I watch? And it's your favorite movie.
See, I feel like your go-to movie is your comfort food movie, where you're just like, whereas a favorite might be a little more, pronounced. Okay, it all comes from, we were reading about President Trump. According to a lot of people on the internet, his favorite movie is Bloodsport. But
from
he says that
an article from in the 90s.
22 years ago. But he says his favorite movie is Citizen Kane. So I've been asking the question, lots of people texting in. Chris said Back to the Future is his go-to.
That's a good one.
John from Prospect says Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I like Randall. He says his go-to is Smokey and the Bandit. I watched that a couple weeks ago.
Why did you watch that? Was it just on?
Have you noticed that over the last few weeks I've been watching old movies?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just in the group?
It popped up on Amazon Prime Instant Video or something like that, so I just watched it. He says favorite is a Marvel movie because he's a sellout. So Tammy says The Italian Job and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Olivia says Your Name. Remember that anime? That was good.
Oh, I watched that on YouTube a few weeks ago.
I mean, once was enough, but it really was good. And she says go-to movie is Avatar with blue people. Oh,
Olivia.
What
you can still listen to the show, but
what a terrible choice
we said we weren't going to judge anybody for their movie choices, but I'm afraid we might need to mention something on that.
Curtis says that Jumper is his favorite. Curtis, what?
Which one's Jumper?
It's the one with the Star Wars guy. No, and he can teleport anywhere.
Okay, all right. Curtis, good job on picking that as your go-to movie.
Wow, that's one where I've
Remember, we're not supposed to call attention to any of them. Just bring them out.
It's just not what I expected. Jeff says Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We've had a few people that have been saying that. Jacob says his favorite movie is The Crow. Let's see. We did Olivia.
That one always scared me. I was afraid.
Really?
Well, because isn't that the one where everybody's always died who's made it?
No, it's just the Brandon Lee died.
Well, I thought the other guy after. I don't know. I don't want to risk it.
I don't know about that one, but let's see.
Aaron said The Rock. Go-to is The Green Mile.
Let's see. Bree says favorite movie, original Lion King. Go-to movie is Friday. Oh, my gosh. Let's see. Beth says Fight Club is her favorite. Avatar is the worst.
That's just a little bonus content there.
Cody says Fellowship of the Ring, and then we've had a few other people that have said Lord of the Rings, including, and I've lost it here in all of these text messages, but somebody said you have to say Lord of the Rings because it's all one movie.
Of course, for all of them.
Yeah, okay. Dune? Nuh-uh. That's not this
That's
person.
Someone saying that
they're
on
they're trolling me, aren't they?
They're trolling you, or they might be nice and saying it for your benefit. Obi lately has been quoting Dune, and it's been very weird.
Nikki, the sleeper must awaken.
Is that from Dune?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one. I don't think most of us has seen
this. Unnamed person knows what I'm talking about. Angela says,
"Name yourself." You that put Dune in the text message. Name yourself.
Angela says Titanic. So aren't they about to re-release that in theaters or something?
I don't know.
Star Trek 2 is going to be in theaters September 12th.
Are you going to go see it?
I might.
I thought you already saw it where it was re-released in theaters.
Well, they're doing it again.
They're doing it again?
Yeah.
What do you get if you go?
Satisfaction?
A commemorative cup or something?
No, nothing.
No popcorn bucket?
It's $5. So, I mean, for $5, it's kind of fun to go. The other thing that's getting re-released is next week. I don't know if you saw, but The Matrix is back in theaters as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're making a big deal because it's been tuned up for Dolby theaters and Dolby theaters only.
So Josh in Cleveland said Ready Player One and Back to the Future.
All right, Tim says Interstellar and Steve is my Dune guy. So, Steve, I'm putting your name in here. I might even put you as Steve, the Dune guy.
That's how we'll know when you text us.
All right.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
This SpiderMan business is out of control.
It is.
It is out of control. Have you guys been tracking this? So, short version, Sony and Disney are fighting. And
Mom and Dad are fighting.
They are. And we're
Spider-
the kids.
We're the kids. We're all in the car, and the car is about ready to go home.
So they say that Spider-Man won't be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. He said, she said, it's their fault, our fault, money's involved, and all this stuff.
When your parents are fighting about money, it's not pleasant.
The spin-off stories have been some of my favorite, though. So in the middle of all this, Stan Lee's daughter has come out and said, listen, I side with Sony. Not exactly that. But, here, I'll give you the quote. When my father died, no one from Marvel or Disney reached out to me.
Did Sony then?
No. From day one, they have commoditized my father's work and never shown him or his legacy any respect or decency. In the end, no one could have treated my father worse than Marvel and Disney's executives. Now, keep in mind that this is the girl that ended up in legal trouble for potential, parent abuse. Because she was known for the way she was treating her father.
So this might not be what we're jumping off from and going from. So we're not going. This isn't probably going to sway us.
So there's one story. The other one is supposedly there is a group of fans that number in the thousands, quote unquote, that are going to dress up as Spider-Man and storm Sony.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to storm stuff now.
Well, they do, don't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're bored. It's the end of summer.
Well, the thing that I think is hard for all of us to understand is we feel like we all own Spider-Man. This is our thing. But at the end of the day, we don't own anything. They own it, and we can pay them to borrow it and play with it, but at the end of the day, it's theirs.
But it's hard. They spent so many years trying to make you feel like you're a part of Spider-Man.
Yes, they did, so they have.
It's kind of like a catch, and then they spent so many years getting us excited that Spider-Man and Marvel could work together.
I know.
And it seemed like a partnership, and it showed us that you could be the left and the right, and you could all get along. You could find a common ground, and they push that on everybody.
But here's the ugly truth.
And then they want to take it away.
You're not going to get to keep it.
Yeah.
You know what? I would like to think that public outcry has been enough that they'll work it out. But again, we don't know all the details, but it actually really seems like the people that reneged on the deal is Disney. Like, Disney was just like, this is going great. We want more money now. And admittedly, whatever, business is business, but just me, the little guy that's scraping by, buying these Blu-rays, watching the movies, part of me is just like, you know what, Disney, I know you have rights, but don't you have enough?
But as a Spider-Man fan...
Don't you have enough money? Can't you just leave it alone?
But as a Spider-Man fan, they did way more for Spider-Man than Sony did.
You are darn tootin'.
So maybe they deserve a little bit more, and Sony has to realize we might not like Sony Spider-Man, because not everybody did.
If you go back and
look...
No
one did back then.
And all these previous Spider-Man movies, they did 5 Spider-Man movies and...
made all combined the price of the one when it got into Marvel.
Once Marvel got a hold of it, it got fantastic.
Guess we'll find out. But again, it really is like your parents are fighting, so no one wins. You just get dragged along in it.
Well, Nikki, I don't have a Spider-Man costume, but I do have one of those zip-up hoodies that zip up all the way, so the hoodie becomes a mask.
Yeah, you could do that.
So if you and I want to go down and...
storm Sony.
Well, where's Sony around here? Well, what if we went to GameStop and stormed the Sony section?
That's not fair. I'll drive you. I'll drop you off.
We'll go in there and stand in protest in the PlayStation 4 aisle.
No. I'll drop you off, and then when you're done, you call me and I'll come pick you up.
All right.
In case we have to do a getaway.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Did you hear about what happened to Mustapha?
I did not.
Yeah, Mustapha, he got fired. All right. Now they say, and this is my favorite part, I'll just skip to the
good stuff.
They're like, it was a mutual decision that we've reached. Blah, blah, blah. I just want you to know, anytime someone has reached a mutual decision to leave a company, they were fired.
That's what that is.
And if they
want to make the person feel better about it, so they're saying it this way.
Well, if it's a mutual decision, they don't have to pay them unemployment. So that, if they go in and they're like, hey, you can resign or we'll fire you. If they fire you, you probably have some money coming. But if you resign, you're screwed. But it's fine. It was a mutual decision, Nikki. He's one of the guys over at DeepMind, which I think
I saw this.
Okay, don't you think?
But he's not fired or resigned. He's taking a break till the end of the year. So it's what no one else can end up doing.
No, Nikki.
What?
He's taking a break till the end of the year, and then when no one's looking, he resigns at the end of it.
I don't think so.
That's the way it works.
No, this is where, when you look at the article, I mean, they say that he's been doing, what was it, 10 years when I read it? Like 10 years of this intense work, and he needs a break. And so he's on a break until the end of the year, but he's still probably getting paid. So it's nothing no one can do.
That might be true. But I'm telling you right now, a mutual decision to take a break. Are you recognizing the language?
The language. I think he
Have you been in a relationship where, you guys are just taking a break, but he's seeing other people?
No, I think he had probably a breakdown, and they're all just letting him have time.
Well, then what do we got to do to get that? I've been doing 10 years of intensive research and work in here.
It's not enough. It's not enough to take the time off. It's not.
Can't we have a mutual agreement to pay me for no work?
That's not how this company works. It's not how most companies work with most employees.
Man, this is a bunch of crap. You know what, though?
Hey, I'm sorry you have to come to work.
I wanted to talk about, how all of this relationship language they're using is just to mask a problem, and there's definitely a breakup coming. But now I've switched gears. I want to take this relationship talk into a meeting where we can have a mutual decision to pay me for not working.
How long you want to get paid for not working?
Until the end of the year. How about that?
Well, let me have a pre-talk with everybody, get them ready.
Get them ready.
Yeah, that way it's not like just sprung on them. Yeah. And then we'll all come in together and we'll present your ideas in a healthy way.
Oboda is a real delicate genius, and he can't, the stress of it has been too much, and he's going to need the next 3.5 months off.
He needs a break, and we might not get you to the end of the year, but maybe we'll come back and get a month or two.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll be back on December 23rd to do the Christmas show, and then I'll go ahead and I can segue back into Christmas vacation.
Okay, then you take some time off, and then you'll come back in January.
Well, then it'll be actual vacation time. From now till the 23rd, that's just a gift, for all the hard work.
No, see, this gives people unrealistic expectations about how their job might work. It's like when you read about like teachers and all this stuff, and they can't get fired for anything, or they get all these days off.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that even work?
That's what we should have done. I have friends that hate kids and just went into education to get their summers off.
Oh, no.
Man.
You mean they had kids, it grew on them.
It's fine.
It's still growing.
It's fine. But, let's reach some mutual decisions.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It is the Riot on RadioU. Good morning, y'all.
It's a good day. Good morning, everybody.
And special good morning to LNYX's.
Yay!
Hi,
LNYX, good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
We're doing very good.
Now, guys, I got to start off with a little question here.
Which people, if you want to hop on, you can watch as we talk to LNYX. If you go to our Facebook page at RadioU or RadioU Riot, it's there.
Okay. How often, as you guys are introducing yourself to new people and new fans, do you continue to be referred to as LNYX?
So much. I'd say percentage-wise, 99.10. Yeah,
okay.
Yes, all the time.
To the point where you're like, should we change the name to that since everybody thinks it's that, or is it too late?
There's this lovely artist in the Pacific Northwest, Portland maybe, named LNYX. And so, I think if you discover her music and love it, then good for you. It's very different, but
it's not you guys.
It's not us. So bang autocorrect.
I'll tell you what it is. We have I've had a couple of people that are newer DJs that are coming in and stuff.
They just can't do it. They can't do it.
I think I have them completely taken care of. They know exactly what they're doing. Everything's great. And then I turn on my radio and I hear them say, "Here's LNYX on RadioU," and you're like, "No!"
We don't know why. We don't know why. We can't do anything else to stop them. We just don't understand.
Well, I mean, that's really on us. We get it. We're just leaning into it. Yeah.
Well, here's what I've been thinking is I feel like it's the litmus test to see if somebody really knows RadioU's music.
if they know the name.
If I put LNYX out in front of them and they pronounce it correctly, then they're in the family. And if they don't, they can make their way in, but they need some help.
We are your Bon Iver.
That's right.
Or have Bon Iver. I don't actually know how to say that.
However you want to say it.
So how are things going with LNYX? What are you guys up to?
Good. We moved. We live in Fort Lauderdale now.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Wait. Pause.
Are you teasing or are you being serious?
Oh.
Yeah, we moved about 2.5 months ago.
Why
we wanted to live on a beach, so we did it.
Yeah.
So
I'd show you out our window, but our view sucks, so I won't really help.
So no more Nashville pool parties then. You'll have to make new friends in Fort Lauderdale. Well, you already have a real pool, probably. Do you have a real pool?
That's true. And an ocean.
And an ocean.
Helpful.
That's true. An ocean party.
So wait, did it really come down to that you guys just wanted to live by the ocean and you just moved? That was it?
Pretty much, yeah. We've been wanting to go to the ocean for a while and had an opportunity, and we're like, all right, we're out of here. Plus, for us doing electronic music, it's a much better scene for us here than it is in Nashville. So a little less honky-tonk down this way.
That's true.
A little more, less...
A little bit more dance music.
This is LNYX now in Fort Lauderdale.
Yay.
So, okay, what do you got? All right. Aside from the ocean, like versus Nashville, like what do you do in the evening? Like when you're not working, you're like, hey, we're in Fort Lauderdale now, so now we go do blank.
Go to the ocean a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do, actually.
We're not the stereotypical people that say, like, oh, we moved to, like, Florida, and we don't ever see the beach. No, we see it about twice a day.
You really
Yeah.
go?
Start take the dog for a walk on the beach, which is why she's not bugging us now, because I was just out there for an hour, and then sometimes we go in the evening.
That's a good move.
It's lovely.
Man,
We'll start taunting you come fall winter time up in Ohio.
they're living like the real dream, Nikki. Where they're like,
know.
yeah, if I seem awake and the dog's not bothering us, I've spent the last hour on the beach.
And see, we always talk about that, like how amazing would it be, but then we don't have the follow through like you guys have. So you guys did it.
Well, joke's on you. I'm so awake because I spent an hour in the parking lot.
You didn't. You were asleep in the closet.
Whatever, it's fine. Whatever.
That's all you were doing.
So, aside from a relocation,
This is LNYX, by the way.
What do you got?
The new song, which is starting on RadioU today.
Yeah. So we've got a new song. What's going on with that?
It's called Beauty and the Breakdown. We've sat on it for a while. We've been doing that with music.
Wait, is that one of those things until it's ready to hatch? Like, there's an egg joke here.
Yeah, it's a song about chickens.
It's excellent.
Yeah, I don't know. We've kind of been doing that with some of the recent releases, I think, just because they're a little more, they're heavier and they're a little more vulnerable. And a lot of times it's way more fun to release music that's upbeat and fun to play. But sometimes these other songs come out, and so gotta let them be born out into the world. So
we have to prep ourselves before they.
Yeah, I think when a song's like really emotional or it's a little raw, then it's it is tough to kind of set it free for the scrutiny of the internet. Well, as it is with anything.
Well, the thing is, Nikki and I have been noticing a real uptick in kindness on the internet.
It's a surprise, isn't it?
So I'm sure that you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised by all the nice things that everyone's going to say.
That's true. Plus, if somebody shames us super hard and that goes viral, then Ellen will have us on for a dance party or something. I think
you'll still get promotion out of it, which is still good.
So, basically, what you're saying is that you need people to absolutely love it or despise it so much that you can bounce back.
No middle ground. If you're going to trash us, be so relentless, shockingly, even for the internet, shockingly bad. Because that'll really help us in the long run.
Well, I'm surprised you want to open that door to that.
No. Remember, Nikki, what he's saying is
Yeah.
They don't want normal internet mean, because normal internet mean is where the rest of us live.
Yeah, it's just everybody.
They're looking for something extraordinary on either side.
Well, maybe I'll suggest for Beauty and the Breakdown, because it is starting today on RadioU, so people can request it. Maybe we send some good positive love to LNYX, and then that way we carry that side of it. If anybody else is mean, that's coming from someone else.
You just don't want all these hateful comments to come down on you. Ultimately.
We don't want any either.
I'm very fragile.
It really hurts, you know?
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much. I would say thanks for getting up and hanging with us, but I guess what I mean is thanks for getting up and going to the beach.
Having a nice walk with your dog, and then coming and joining us. That worked out.
You left the beach to be here, so that says a lot, I think. Yeah,
it does. So
it means a lot.
Thank you, guys.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, I don't know. Well, I'm sure you've seen the Epstein stuff where he had the painting of Bill Clinton.
Yes, with the dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now that they're starting to, I guess, seize his property or whatever, they're finding even more weird art.
I'm afraid to ask. Yeah.
You know what? I actually, it's not what I want to talk about. Sure. I don't want to get into what they found. But I started thinking about it. What if... You know, right now for me, if I want a piece of art, I love pop art. So I would, like, if I wanted something I wanted to hang on a wall, it's probably going to be a movie poster.
Yeah,
and
you
so,
love those.
You know, a good reproduction of a movie poster is usually $25 or $30.
In a nice IKEA frame.
$20.
You're done.
So it's about $45 to put something like that together if you want it to be nice. I think I have like 3 of those in my basement, planning on doing a couple more. But in the middle of all that, I started thinking, what if... Like, for me, I really have to think about what I want to put that money into. But what if you had money to commission art? So that you
would
have
say, something done?
Yeah. So if you would say to yourself, like, you know what I'd really like? I'd really like to put SpiderMan on my basement wall. But you're like, you know what?
I can guarantee you that is never going to be my commission.
I get that. But that might be something I would think. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to have Todd McFarlane come in and do this for me, who is a previously well-known Spider-Man artist. And I'm going to commission a custom art, whatever, and put it on the wall.
Where he like puts you in it?
Well, then that's the other thing I thought is then all of a sudden, if you wanted to, you could be like, I think I'm Spider-Man now. So I want you to make one. Of course, you want to make me better looking than I am now, but I want you to make me Spider-Man.
Well, if not, I thought maybe he can put you in it like where Spider-Man's saving you. Like you're the one being helped. Or you're just in the background?
Yeah, like it's just me looking up from my comic books.
And like you wouldn't know until you really looked at the painting that it's you in there.
Yeah, because there seems to be a weird run of this, like, I'll do bizarre art when you have enough money. Because remember when they raided Saddam Hussein's palaces? They found all that really weird art on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, that painting, though, wasn't commissioned for him because the guy who painted it had no idea that's where it was.
Oh, which one?
So
which one?
The Bill Clinton in the blue dress.
I'm talking about even some of this newer stuff.
Oh, the newer stuff.
I mean, maybe he commissioned it. Maybe he didn't.
If you think it's weird, you blame that on the artist. Then
yeah, you could,
especially.
But you bought it.
Oh,
it's
that's
your problem.
True.
But I just wonder if I was just set loose, like, hey, you're a billionaire now, and you're not going after movie posters anymore. Now you got people making stuff for you.
Actually,
would
at that point,
would you hire somebody and be like, here, I want a movie poster, but I want you to put all my friends in it?
No, I think people do that to invest in art, but that's not our world, so it doesn't seem like an investment. It's not an investment to us. I think if you're talking like you're a billionaire, then you're making movies, and then you're having your own movie posters. In your world, because you like movie posters so much.
Yeah. So,
but I think I'd save the money or invest in something else. It's just not our thing.
Yeah. Which is probably why I don't even have any money to start with.
That's not what would give us money, I don't think. I don't want to be in that world.
Okay. I mean, I want to be a billionaire, but I
know you do, and one day that's going to happen. Why don't we just shoot for millionaire, though? You don't need to be a billionaire.
Nikki, you got to climb the hill before you climb the mountain.
the hill is a millionaire.
I know. So we got to get that hill down, and that's when, the billionaire thing happens after we climb the first hill.
Or hundreds of thousandaires. Like, that might be the hill.
I'm selling a Blu-ray for $15 today.
You are?
Look at that.
Look at that. And is that one that you were originally thinking you'd only get 5 out of?
We don't need to talk about it.
You're making money.
But look at that, which I'm then going to reinvest.
In more Blu-rays. In
because
4Ks.
They've been a real growth market.
Things that you bought for like $20, $30 are selling for $5 to $15.
That's right.
This is why we're not in the art world. We can't turn around things very well.
You're right, Nikki.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.